In 2013, as I was about to begin my student teaching experience, I decided that I was going to start a blog that I would update every day. And the title of that blog was, Can I Honestly Learn to Teach? Now, here we are, 12 years later, and I wanted to go back and find out, did I do it? Hi. Today is Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. I'm in my 12th year teaching. And when I was finishing up my teaching degree, my senior semester, my last semester, was my student teaching semester. And I decided that day, 12 years ago, or the first day, I decided I was going to blog every day about how my day went, what I was feeling, what I was thinking, as I approached like finishing my college career and looking ahead to being a teacher. And the other day, I honestly forgot that I had done this. I have not read those blogs in like 12 years. I don't think I read them since I wrote them. Um, and I thought maybe it might be inspiring, good for me. I don't know, meaningful to go back and reread them 12 years later, like day by day. So I started student teaching. My first day was January 14th, 2013. So 12 years ago today. Um, and so I thought I would go day by day and sort of, instead of a blog, vlog my reactions to rereading these feelings of mine from so many years ago. Especially this year, it's been a really hard year. I don't know. I just have, I always finish the day as a teacher, and I always, kind of feel like, was that a good day or was that a bad day? Did I feel like a good teacher or a bad teacher? This year, I just feel like I've got more bad days than good days. And I thought maybe reflecting on how far I have come in the last 12 years might help me feel like I have more good teacher days than bad teacher days. So I'm just going to dive in. I have not previewed it. I don't want to. I want every day. I just want to read the blog post for that day and then stop so I can kind of move through it just like I did back when I wrote it. So I don't remember a lot about how I wrote it. I guess we're about to find out. But I do know that I did have a calendar reminder every night after dinner. I was living in my own apartment, like by myself, well, with a cat who is still alive. He is still kicking. But that was the only year I lived alone. And, it was every day going in student teaching in this really small town, really, really rural, tiny school. Each grade level only had, I think, two or three classes. And so I wrote it every night in the evening, like after I'd come home from the day. Well, usually I came back from student teaching, I went to work because you don't get paid to student teach. So I had a job. So I would go to work. I worked in like an after school program also with kids. So it was like kids all day, then more kids. And then I'd go home to my apartment alone and I'd do my blog. I remember that. And I did it every day, I think the whole semester. So I remember it was like 70 something days, I think, because we didn't quite start. We started a little later, like today's the 14th, but actually we've been back in school for like a week and a half now. And then we didn't quite go until the end of the school year because colleges finish like early May. Um, but it was like most of the spring semester. I was still teaching kindergarten, which is crazy because now I teach fifth grade and I've taught fifth grade for the last, what, 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, four. And then before that, fourth grade. So I don't teach little kids anymore. So I don't know. I'm just excited to see how it goes. So I'm going to do one of these every day. I do remember that at the time I was having a crisis of thinking maybe teaching was not what I wanted to do. And so I'm sure some of the posts will reflect that, but I just had been so sure I wanted to be a teacher. And then I started to, like, right at the end as the finish line was approaching, think, wait, do I want to be a teacher? Spoiler alert, I did, and I do. Even though, some days are bad, I do still want to be a teacher. And I'm hoping that reading this blog will remind me why. Because obviously by the end of it, I decided I wanted to be a teacher because I graduated and I got a job. So, I'm just gonna read through the blog and then do some reactions every day. I'm sure most videos will be shorter than this one. All right, so day one, January 14th, 2013. Oh my gosh. Today was exhausting. I began my first day of student teaching, and it was not at all what I expected. I'd previously gone to the school and met the teacher, but today was the first day I met the children. I walked in not really knowing what to expect. The children are very sweet, kindergartners, and they are very responsive to their teacher. I hope that with time they treat me the same way. I know that I have to earn their trust and respect, but today made me feel like I got off to the right start. Okay. I was surprised with how often the children are not in the classroom. Today they went to assembly, PE, music, lunch, recess, and language with the teacher next door, all without us being there. Oh, yes, this school was kind of weird. They had PE every single day. I remember this. They had like double specials. They were short, maybe like 30 minutes, but it was like they went to PE every single day. And then they had an additional, like then during a different time of day, they go to music, art, computer lab. Um, I forget, music, art, computer lab. Oh, the guidance counselor would come in, and there was probably a fifth one. Um, but yeah, that's coming back to me now. Very unusual. I've never been at another school that does it like that. I think it was because it was so small. The PE teacher had enough time during the day. So there's only like two or three classes on your grade level, so she could um, just fill her whole day with doing like little chunks of PE, which I thought was cool. I'm a little worried that I'm not going to have time to actually teach anything with the children gone for so long each day. But I'm sure I'm overreacting and everything will be fine. I'll just keep telling myself, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Not much has changed. I still feel all the time. Like it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. I'm also worried that I'm going to perform poorly this semester because I recently realized that teaching is not really what I want to do anymore. There it is. It's so crazy because I'm going to get to watch over a few months how this changes. I'm still interested in it, and it's something I could see myself doing for a while, but that passion and drive I've had for the past 10 years is just gone all of a sudden. I can't explain it. I don't exactly know why. Maybe it's because the last 10 years have been leading me to what I truly want to do: research and teacher education and assessment. This is fascinating. I mean, it makes sense because at this time, I had started this program where you could get your master's in 2 years, which is not abnormal. But what was interesting was that one of the years was your senior year. Like you kind of doubled up. So my senior year of college, I was taking all of my end of undergraduate classes, and then I was taking extra classes that were at the master's level with the idea that like I would have most of it done, and then I would only need one more year of graduate level courses and like my thesis and all that, and then I'd have my master's degree. So I was doing that program. And so I think that's probably what sparked, like I was doing a lot of research, a lot of like analysis assessment, and I was like really feeling it. 12 years later, not so much. Not so much. Uh, Research, it's fine. It's fine. Since I got that master's and then what, 6 or so years later, I got another master. So I'm like, I like research, and I'm good at writing and stuff like that. But it's just funny that that's what I really thought I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to work at the college level. And now I don't really feel that way anymore. I don't think I would want to do that, but we'll see. Maybe 12 years from now, I'll be looking back on this and being like, you dummy, now you teach at a college. It feels so strange to think that what I've been working towards for the last half my life, that's crazy. 10 years was half my life. Now it's a third of my life, is not what I thought it was. I'm absolutely going to try my hardest this semester, but I can't help but question if my heart is still really in it or not. Time will tell. This is only day one. I just want to keep reading. Oh, it's gonna be hard to do it day by day, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be fun. Oh, look, my name is, I wasn't married yet. 6:14 p.m. Wow, no comments. I didn't share this with anybody until it was done. Um, just like just saying with this vlog, like I'm not gonna tell anybody I'm doing this until I'm done with it. And then I like to share things um once they're completed. So nobody knew that I was blogging every single night, because it's not very long. It probably took me 10 or 15 minutes. It was just a little like part of my evening routine. Just like this is going to be part of my afternoon routine. Oh, it's gonna be so hard not to read ahead, but I'm not going to. Not going to. Not going to. Wow. Okay. Well, I thought I could end every day with thinking about like what advice I would give to myself from 12 years ago, knowing what I know now. And I think I would say everything will be fine. It will be fine. It's all going to work out. You're going to figure it out. There's going to be roller coasters. I did end up leaving the classroom. I stayed at the school. I was an instructional coach for 3 years, and then I went back in. It's like you have permission to feel like maybe you want to change and to explore something, and and then change your mind back. It's not it's okay to think you want something, then not want it, and then to want it again. It's not embarrassing to look back on this. This is how I felt. And I I it's so funny. I don't know where it's going. I don't. It's my story, my blog. All these words came from my brain. And so much life has happened since then that I is gone. I might as well be reading something written by a stranger. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I think it's gonna be something I look forward to every day as we move through the second half of my 12th year of teaching, or 12th year of education. Like I said, I did 3 years. I was not in the classroom, so my ninth year in the classroom, but 12th year overall. Okay, well, see you tomorrow. Hey. Today is January 15th, 2025, and I'm now going to read the second day of my blog from 12 years ago. I'm realizing now that because January 14th was a Monday 12 years ago and it was a Tuesday today, that this is not going to work out exactly the way I was envisioning, because I really don't want to do this on the weekends, like, because I want to be able to reflect on the day. So I think it's going to be like slightly off of like not matching up one day at a time, but it'll be pretty close. Right now, it's matching up, but it's going to get messed up on Friday, but whatever. Okay, so here we go. All right. Oh no, look at day two. Look how little it is. Oh my gosh. Well, this is going to be uneventful. Wow. I know they get longer than this. I know I write long ones. Okay. Well, it says, I don't know what to say today. It is hard to wake up in the mornings. I am still very nervous that I will not do a good job this semester. I am getting a little overwhelmed, which is unusual for me. Time will tell. Stay tuned. Time did tell. It all works out. I think the children are getting to know me. Some of them are calling me Miss Morgan, but Erin keeps correcting them, and I think they're getting it. Oh yeah, this at this school, the kindergarten teachers, there were only two of them. They went by their first names, like Miss first name. So my cooperating teacher was Miss Erin. And then she had an instructional assistant that was Miss Jenny, and so I was Miss Megan instead of Miss Lewis. Well, I guess at the time I would have been Miss Reynolds. But yeah, so the kids call me by my first name, Miss First Name. I don't know why if I recall correctly, in once they moved to first grade, that the rest of that school did like last names, but they did first names in kindergarten. So Erin, I'm sure I'll mention her multiple times. She was my cooperating teacher, and she'd been teaching for I, quite a while. I would say probably close to 20 years when I had when let me think about this. Mm. Yeah, I would say she was probably in like the high teens or nearing 20 years of teaching when I was her when I was her student teacher. So if she's still teaching, she's like near 30, probably more than 30 years now. She's probably close to retiring. Oh, but she was great. And she had a son in kindergarten that year, and he was in the other class. But I guess that means now he's in college because this was 12 years ago. So all of any kids that I talk about here would wait, will they be seniors? Will they be seniors right now? They're kindergarten in 2013, their first grade in 2014, their second grade in 2015, or third grade 2016, fifth grade in 2020. They're seniors. They're seniors. They're high school seniors. Oh, that's kind of fun. I don't know why I had to like count up like that. I'm sure this is riveting content. It's the end of the day. I would say today was a good day though. Good day. I felt like today went well. Instruction was hitting, kids were getting it. We accomplished things. So today was a good day. Um, but my math skills are great right now. But yeah, okay, so all these kids that I'm talking about, 'cause I don't know if I mentioned their names on the blog. I think I did. I probably mentioned a few kids by first name. They would be, they're seniors right now, seniors in high school. All right, let's see. I'm anxious to see what this semester has in store for me. It's only day two, so I'm sure things will change over time. I'm just hoping it's for the better. I'm still so nervous. Wow. Yeah, I think more of them are the length of, I just kind of want to scroll. I'm not going to read it. I just want to kind of peek at, okay, day three looks longer. I blurred my eyes, so I didn't say any of the words. Okay, well, we'll get more. I know it's going to get deeper. I remember it gets more insightful than I'm tired, but that's all we got today. So if I could give myself advice, I would say just stick in there. It's still hard to wake up in the mornings. I still don't like getting up in the mornings, but it does get a little easier. You get used to it. All right, I guess we'll see how tomorrow goes. Hi. Today's January 16th, 2025. And if I had to categorize today into a good day or a bad day, it would be a bad day. It's a bad day today. Some of the kids are just being so mean to each other. Feels so hard to like teach them how to be nice people sometimes. And they're at that age where they're being, I don't know, they're just like old enough to know what to say to really like hurt somebody else's feelings, which is a bummer. So, yeah, bad day, bad day. And I didn't have a planning period because I had a meeting that not only took up the whole planning period, but actually went long. So someone else had to pick up my kids from specials, which is always frantic because I don't have anything planned because I was supposed to be there doing it. So I was just like, just have them like work on this. And so then when I come in 10 minutes late, they're working on something, but then I want to stop because actually we're supposed to be doing math right now. So I had to do like a super fast math. And I'm like, do they even understand that? Like it was so abbreviated. Oh, I don't know. It's just a bad day. But we'll see how I was 12 years ago. Was I having a good day or a bad day? Let's see. All right, so it was a Wednesday, but now it's a Thursday. Yeah. Okay, day 3, January 16th, 2013. I really love the school I'm at, and I really love the teacher I am with. The children are very fun, and I am extremely surprised at the things they are learning. They are practicing things that were introduced to the second grade classroom I was with last semester. I was a little panicked yesterday thinking about the whole what do I want to do with my life thing, but I have come to a conclusion. I will figure it out. It's a good conclusion. I think I'm so concerned because I've been so sure for the last 12 years that I will be a kindergarten teacher. And then the last 6 months, I have lost this certainty. That's right. That's right. When I was in 5th grade and I decided to want to be a teacher, it was specifically kindergarten. And then I forgot that part of my crisis was that I realized I don't want to teach kindergarten. This was even before because I had done some like field placements in pre-K and 1st grade, and I started to realize I don't want to teach the little kids. And then I was placed for kindergarten student teaching, and I remember actually like crying and saying like I don't think I want to do this. It's like, spoiler alert, 12 years later, I'm not doing that. And I still don't want to. Like, I very much still am like, yeah, it's not, kindergarten's not it for me. Um, so that was part of the crisis is realizing I don't want to teach kindergarten. And I guess I had twisted that into that must mean I don't want to be a teacher instead of what really happened was I want to teach 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, which are the grades that I've taught, since actually becoming a teacher. I've only taught 4th, 5th, and 6th. So, like, obviously, I found what I wanted to do. Even though today was a bad day, it's probably better than what it would be if I was trying to teach kindergarten today. Um, yeah, I've lost this certainty. I've never had to experience the confusion of not knowing where I will end up. I've never had to ask, what am I going to do with my life? But now I'm asking, and it is scary. It is scary to be passionless. That is true. I'd never had the like, what am I going to be when I grow up? I've been knowing since I was 11. Um, but I got shook in 2013. I thought maybe I didn't know anymore. But I know I'll be fine. I think that 10-year-old Megan was on the right path. She just had the destination wrong. I've always been on this road to teaching. I guess I just thought I would be taking a different exit. I never really wanted to get a degree beyond a teaching one, yet here I am researching PhD programs all across the country. That's so funny. This is still a habit of mine when I get into a panic or I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, oh, what else could I do with my life? What could I do? I'm like Googling stuff. Like last winter break, not the one that just happened, but like the one a year ago, I was like, I should be a speech language pathologist. I could go back to school. I'm like, no, and I'm like, no, you're obviously not going to do that. Like, calm down. Or I'm like, I could be like, what else could I do? Like, should I do something different? It often will happen like over breaks or something like over winter break or spring break when I'm like the dreading going back. I'm like, oh God, I can't do this anymore. What should I do with my life? And then once I get like a couple weeks in, I'm like, oh no, actually, this is it. This is right. I have, good days, bad days, but I don't want to go back to school for like 3 or 4 more years and like go through all that business. So no, I never got my PhD. I guess I still could, but I'm sure 12 years ago I would have thought that by now I would have it. And I just feel no draw, no pull towards it right now. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe one day, but not now. Now I've reset my life goal GPS and I'm headed much farther down this path than I ever intended to go. No, you're not. You do get 2 master's degrees, but that's it. I'm just going to throw myself wholeheartedly into this semester. Yes. I will not slack off just because I'm rethinking my future. That's just not me. True. I go 100%, so this will be no different. True. However, that does not make me any less ready to be finished and on to the next chapter of my journey. I'm just hoping I figure out where to go from here. I mean, also, it's like there's a little bit of like senioritis in this, I think. You're like your senior semester, your last semester of your senior year. Like, is this over yet? Like, I am tired, because at this point, I had taken like a pretty full course load like every semester because I also got an honors college degree. So those were extra classes I took each semester. And then I also did stuff in the summer. Um, every was it every summer? I think I did. I took one summer, I took 10 hours of sign language classes. So that was all June, all July, every day, all day. It was like intense. And then the next summer, I took some math classes. None of these were like for fun. They were required for my degree, but I took them over the summer to stay busy. And also, it made my course load a little bit lighter during the year, although it didn't feel that light. I guess I just replaced them with honors classes. But I took math stuff. And then the summer after that, did I do anything between? Oh, then I had to take what do you call it, a statistics class. That was so I could get into that grad program. So I never had like an extended break. So I think I was just tired. I was so tired. And it was hard. Student teaching was hard because um, it was easy to get sucked into a negativity spiral with my peers just because like we were all tired and it was essentially for student teaching, and this hasn't changed to my knowledge. You don't get paid. I think some colleges do, but most colleges don't. So we were all like working full-time hours. It's a full day of school. And we had to be there when the teachers had to be there. So we had to show up at teacher arrival time and stay till teacher dismissal time. And so we were working full hours, full time, 5 days a week, and then still having to like work jobs, um, to pay rent and bills and stuff. And thankfully, I had a significant amount of money saved up from the 6 years prior, like ever since I had a job. So because I had my own apartment, I had to pay my rent. I was definitely operating in a deficit this semester because I couldn't work as many hours as I had previously because I had to teach, do these full days of school. And the school was 30 minutes away from the city where the college is. So we were having to commute every morning. And so I was losing money for sure every month, but it was okay for me because I had like quite a bit of savings, but I had some peers who did not have that cushion. And so they were working like really late into the night, or they were working all day on the weekends. Like they were waitressing, every like doubles on Saturday and Sunday to have enough money to like pay their rent and stuff. And that sucked for them. And it made just like an exhausting semester even more exhausting. So that was also part like playing into this feeling of like, just like, can this semester just be over so we can all go be real teachers and get like paychecks that give us real money that we feel like our time is rewarding us with money during the semester our time was rewarding us with like experience, which we definitely needed. None of us were ready to like go be a teacher. But yeah, so I'm sure that's playing into it as well. But my life GPS, I've reset it several times since to continue to use this analogy. Um, okay. Well, I think that's it for today. Tomorrow I have to take off because my youngest daughter is sick. I got to take her to the pediatrician. So I'm taking off tomorrow. So I got to make sub plans right now. But then I am going to come in tomorrow afternoon because I help run science club on Fridays. It's me and another fifth grade teacher, and I don't want to leave her in the lurch like that. So I'm going to not come to school to teach, but I will come back after school to do the science club. So I will record my video then. I guess I won't really have anything to reflect on from the day, but that's okay. We'll see. We'll see you tomorrow. Today is January 17th, 2025. It is Friday. I did not work today. Sort of. I mean, I didn't. I had to take the day off to take Izzy to the doctor, and she's fine. No flu, no COVID, no RSV, no pneumonia, no, what else did they check for? No ear infections. So just some viral thing. She's fine. Um, so I left sub plans. I stayed here for 2.5 hours yesterday, like getting all my sub plans ready, which I know is so extra. And I know I don't have to do that, but I do try and make it like as foolproof as possible because you never know who's going to be in the room. And I'm really glad I did because I came back for science club, and some of my students are in science club, so I was asking about the day, and they were like, "Our sub didn't do anything." Hold on, I'm back. That's perfect. I'm editing this out. A student showed up at my door because he forgot something and he came back to get it. So that's funny. I don't know, but yeah, the kids were saying like, "Oh, the sub didn't do anything. Like, we had to teach ourselves." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's a good thing that I would like record myself, um, and then leave the videos for the kids to watch. So I'll record myself like teaching or like telling them things, reminding them things. Because sometimes, like, if they see my face and hear my voice, they're more likely to do it than if someone who they don't know is like telling them to do something." And it sounds like that was the right move, although it was still kind of chaotic in here. But the room was clean when I got back, so that's something. At least I cleaned. So yeah, I don't know if it was a good day or a bad day in this room, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna read about January 17th, 2013. Oh, okay. I need to go to next page. Okay. So it was a Thursday 12 years ago. Today went by very quickly. I think I'm getting into the swing of things. Right now, the thing I'm worried the most about is forming a working relationship with my teacher. Naturally, I'm pretty reserved and try to be professional at all times, which for me is doing everything early, the right way, and usually without asking anyone for help. That hasn't changed much. That has not, that's still very much me. But I need to learn how to use my cooperating teacher as a resource because she is so much more knowledgeable than I am, and she is a wonderful teacher. I'm always operating under the mindset of I'll figure it out as I go because I'm very perceptive and confident in myself. I know that whatever I do, I will do it well. I know my work and everything is generally high quality, but I know it could be better if I just reached out for help. Oh, I feel this feels like me from 12 years ago giving me advice today, not the other way around. Yeah, this is real. Um, I do, like, I tell myself this all the time, like, you're gonna figure it out. It's all gonna work out. It always works out. Like you'll make it happen. And if you don't, like you don't, and you'll pivot, you'll figure it out. Which is, I think I do think that's a really important trait to have as a teacher is the ability to like pivot quickly, like problem solve, figure things out, decide like okay, we obviously don't have time to do this all. So quickly, like, what do I skip? What do I push? What do I focus on? Um, but I am still not great at asking people for help. So maybe I'll try and work on that in 2025. Over the next week, I will work on forming this relationship. It is easier for me than for some of the other student teachers because my cooperating teacher is so easy to get along with and is very outgoing. Yes, she was. I feel very fortunate because she is so friendly with lots of other teachers in the school and parents as well. So I'm forming these friendly relationships by default. That watching her interact with parents was really like eye-opening to me. Like I often like I felt and still kind of feel, but that I'm your child's teacher and you are their parent and like we have this relationship, but like we're not friends. And I still do kind of feel that way, but she was very, I feel like she towed that line really well of being like really friendly and outgoing and supportive and still like she's the teacher. Um and so I feel like I'm getting a lot better about that. And I think part of that just comes with age. Like when I was first teaching, 22, 23, I felt very intimidated by parents because they were so much older than me. And I just worried that they were, thinking that I didn't know what I was doing, that I was so young. Now that I'm at the point in my life where I am most parents of fifth graders are still a little bit older than me, but some aren't. Some aren't. And I also now have like two of my own kids, so I think I just feel more confident and like we're sort of like peer to peer rather than I like they're judging me because I'm so little. Like I'm closer in age to their kids than to them. Not anymore. Not at all. I have kids the same age as theirs or mine a little bit younger than fifth grade, but some of them have younger siblings that are my kids' age. So I think that definitely helps. I think it just comes with time. But yeah, Aaron was just very like outgoing and friendly with other teachers. And that you need that. You have to have your group. You as a teacher, you need other teachers. Like you cannot do this without forming like relationships with the people you work with. Oh my gosh. Some of the other girls who are student teaching feel like they talk to their teachers and no one else. They feel like they are missing out on the community of the school. But I'm not. I just need to embrace it more. The children have been asking me more questions today and are beginning to treat me more like a real teacher. That is always encouraging. I hope that this continues to grow. I'm slowly trying to form relationships with the children, and I think it's working. I'm still trying to get into the mindset of being a teacher, not an assessor, not a researcher, a teacher. I will do it. I know I will. It's getting easier to wake up in the morning. I think my internal clock is shifting. All right, January 17th. So we're approaching Martin Luther King Day weekend, and I remember in 2013, the college was closed on Martin Luther King Day. It was, it was like a holiday, like our college was closed. But this school district did not close for the teachers for MLK. It was teacher work day. So we were told that technically, because our college was closed, we did not have to report to student teaching that day they because we were out of school. Like they had to follow the college calendar. But they were like, we strongly encourage you to go to the teacher work day so you can see like what in-service days are like for professional teachers. Guess who went to the teacher work day? Me. And guess who was the only one who went to the teacher work day? Also me. So I did go. I was like, because that's who I am as a person. And I wonder if I'll talk about that. I don't know if I blogged that day because technically it wasn't a day. It didn't count. But anyway, so yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. I I just need to I feel like I need to sit down to the calendar, like pace this out. I don't know if I'll do this tomorrow, if I'll wait till Monday. But yeah, it sounds like me from 12 years ago was like feeling it a little bit, like not feeling so nervous. We'll see. I feel like it yo-yos. I don't think it stays that way. All right. Hi. Today is Tuesday, January 21st. It is teacher work day. Feels like a billion years since I was here, since I didn't teach Friday. I came back for Science Olympiad. But I feel like I've a lot of life has happened since then. I don't know. It's been an okay day so far. Yesterday was off. So I'm actually gonna read two today to catch up. Um, or like to stay on pace to say, otherwise I'm going to get really off. So I'm going to read two today. I'm going to read the one from that very first Friday and then the one from that Monday, if there is one, from Martin Luther King Day, because yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, so I already read day 3. Okay, I think I already read day 4. Yes, okay, so day 5, January 18th, 2013. I have finished my first week of student teaching. I went through and put all of my lesson plans into my planner, so I know exactly what to do when to do it. I loved my paper planner in college. I would like color code it and put everything in, and I still actually do that. So I do a lot, like my calendar, my calendar on my phone and my computer is super important. I put all my meetings, like essentially everything I'm doing. Like I went to a party at a friend's house last night. It was in my calendar. Like I put everything in there, but I still use my paper planner to um put in things that like at the beginning of the year, I'll look ahead. I'll put in all the work days. I'll put in all my students' birthdays, so I know when their birthdays are. I'll put in any like meetings that I know I have or any like windows, like when the middle of the year assessment window opens. So I still use my paper planner and I love keeping them because sometimes I do look back and be like, oh, what was I doing on January 21st, 5 years ago? And I'll flip back. I'm like, oh, look at all the plans you had in March and April and May that then dissolved because it was 2020 and school got canceled. Like, no, it's just, so I do like to look back. I kind of wish I'd kept one of my planners from college. I would like to see um what this planner looked like. But yeah, not much has changed there. I still do love a paper planner. On paper, it doesn't look too overwhelming. That makes me a little nervous because I'm so used to pressure. I work best under it. Yes. But my teacher has made me feel so comfortable and the children are so nice that I worry about the fact that I'm not worried. I know it sounds weird, but it's me. On Monday, there's no school, but I'm going to professional development. I don't know if anyone else is going. They didn't. But I thought it would be a good experience. It's all about Common Core, so that's important. Oh my God, Common Core was like new. This was like the new thing. I forgot my senior year of college. They were like, hey, you got to be ready for Common Core. Oh, it's so funny. And it will make a good impression on the teachers and principal. I think it did. Not that I didn't know at the time, but sometimes the place you student teach at, you can also get hired there. Several of my classmates ended up doing that, if a position opens or whatever. So that was probably in the back of my mind. I think I knew that I was never really gonna work at this school, but you never know. I feel like one of the biggest things I've learned over the last 12 years is so much comes down to like who you know and who you make a good impression on, which is probably true for any like business. But the jobs I've gotten, the opportunities I've gotten are just because of people I knew who like I made a good impression on, who saw me and thought, oh, she might be interested in this master's program, which I was. And so I joined this group that then got me into a master's program. I essentially got a free second master's degree through this program. And then through doing that, I met people who then got me my next job, who then got me like, so you never know. You never know. I might have needed that principal to think that I was doing a good job. I didn't, but I might have. Then on Tuesday, I start leading opening/calendar time every day. I'll be doing that from Tuesday on through April. Yeah, it was like I sort of took over like one piece at a time. And then eventually it got to the point where I think it was for 2 weeks, I was doing everything. I wonder if it is hard for teachers to relinquish control. Yeah, it would be. I've never had a student teacher, but I don't think I would like it for this reason. I know I would feel weird if someone came into my class and started taking over my teaching piece by piece until they had all of it. Maybe it's nice. I guess it depends on the teacher. I think some people are like born for it. They're just natural, like mentors. They're so good at it. I, not yet. Not yet. Maybe one day, but not yet for me. Mine seems to be pretty laid back, and she wrote on my evaluation that she's looking forward to seeing me begin teaching next week. Hopefully, it works out well for me, her, the children, and everyone. Oh boy, that's a lot of pressure. Okay, so that was Friday. Then Monday, January 21st, 2013. Oh, so we're back that today. Okay, so I'm back on track here. All right, so I'll get off, then I'll get back on. Today, I attended my first professional development day. It wasn't mandatory, but I really wanted to go. This is going to sound super weird, but I love meetings. I still love meetings. I know people like hate staff meetings, and sometimes I am in a staff meeting, like, why are we doing this? But I do. I do kind of like meetings still. I don't know what it is about them, but getting together and talking about important events and ideas is really fun for me. Everybody's together, like talking about stuff, logistics. Yeah, that hasn't changed. I also like getting to talk some more one-on-one with my cooperating teacher. After seeing her lead the PD today, oh, I don't remember that. But I mean, she was so good. I'm sure it was amazing. And getting to chat a little with her during lunch and breaks, I'm beginning to see that we're fairly alike. She is passionate but professional. I can tell that she has very strong opinions on different ECE, early childhood education, topics, as I do, but she is not out to specifically tell anyone that they are wrong. I often find myself inwardly cringing when I hear the things some teachers say. Girl, I was probably outwardly cringing. I have tried, I've gotten better at like not being like, but I'm sure it wasn't as inward as I thought it was. I wonder if maybe this is the way she is too. I really, really like her, and I'm so thankful that she is my cooperating teacher this semester. I count myself very lucky for getting placed with her. This is true. I think it's going to turn out a lot differently if I had someone else. She is an ECE major, so our philosophies are very similar, and she's just a very fun person to work with. All in all, my first PD day was a success. Of course, I couldn't really contribute as much as I would have liked to, but even just being a fly on the wall was so beneficial. I'm glad I went. I'm surprised that these days aren't mandatory, but I guess I understand that if OSCU is not in session, they aren't liable for anything that happens to us or that we do at our field site. It's out of our scope of employment, if you will. But I think it's worth it for everyone to go. And I hope that more of my classmates at other field sites went to theirs today. They definitely, definitely, definitely didn't. Definitely didn't. Tomorrow, I begin leading calendar time, though I don't need to turn any lessons in yet, even though I already wrote them, of course. I hope that it goes well. I'm feeling more and more confident in myself as I think about leading the class. Maybe teaching isn't what I want to do forever, but I think that it is something I want to do right now for the next 13 weeks. We will see what happens after that. 13 weeks. So that means in 13 weeks, because I think I finished beginning of May. So that means there's like 13 weeks till the beginning of May. I think that's not counting spring break. And then I teach till the beginning of June. So I have like 17 weeks. I guess that makes sense. It's like 17 weeks left of school. It doesn't sound like very much. That's a long time. I still have five. No, I have 4.5 months of school left. It doesn't seem like that long. But 13, it sounds so short. It's in the teens of the time that we have left. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens to me. I do still love PD. If it's like sometimes you go to one and it's like, oh my gosh. But I like being with other teachers and having shared experiences, even if they're bad ones, sometimes just sharing the experience can like bond you. You need that camaraderie. That's what you need more than anything else, is you need to have at least like one person, but really you need like a group. It's 10:50 and I have not accomplished as much as I wanted to today, but it's because of my group. Everyone came in here this morning and we just like debriefed and talked about some stuff. And you just need that. Sometimes you just need that. And I made a new seating chart. I was like trying to like really think about it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Whatever I do is gonna be wrong. Something's wrong. I made some mistake that I won't realize until they're all in class tomorrow. And I'll be like, oops. But did my best, moved all my seats, cleaned, and now I gotta plan out what I'm gonna do in February. Every like month, I like right before each month starts, I like print out a calendar and I try and just plan like what are just my small groups. Like I know what I'm gonna do for the whole class, but like small groups, like I'm starting new books. sorry, 4 new books, 4 new like book clubs. They're all adventure books. And so I'm like planning on out like which chapters are we going to read on which days, like all that stuff. So I need to do that today because those kick off tomorrow. And then I need to like plan out February. What am I going to do in February? That's what I'll be doing today. I need to do my report cards. Yikes. That's the worst. That's the worst part of teaching right there. Report cards. Ugh. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. Hi. I'm at home because it snowed. And so I did not go to school today. I'm still in my pajamas. But I wanted to keep the project going, so I thought I would still record today. Um, I had to work from home today. Did a lot of like report cards and stuff, but um yeah, no kids today. So I'm just pretending that this doesn't mean that I have to change all of my pacing and plans for the rest of the school year. And at the work yesterday, I spent so much time like planning out. I think I recorded it. I was so proud of my calendar. That's all. That's gone to hell. So whatever. I don't even know if we're gonna have school tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna have school Friday. So I'm just going to not think about it and then I'll figure it out. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So today is Wednesday, January 22nd. On January 22nd, 2013, I did not have much to say. Let's see. Today was such a wonderful day. Ah, that's great. It's the first time I've said that. Meeting with the other student teachers at my school reminded me of how thankful I am for my cooperating teacher. Oh, yeah. So every Tuesday evening, we had to, this was part of our student teaching. Every Tuesday evening, well, the rule was once a week, everyone who was in the same cohort, like at the same school, met with, she wasn't one of our professors, but she was a professor. Oh, why was she? She was only in charge of our student teaching. Maybe she had not taught us a class previously. Maybe she was a new professor, but she was just in charge of our like field experience, basically. So if we had questions, we asked her for advice, but once a week we had to meet with her. So my group did that on Tuesdays. We would come back from student teaching and we would meet at, I don't remember exactly what time. Oh, well, I posted this at 5:26. So I think I was gonna say I think we met like at 4:30 or something. We met at a Panera Bread. I probably just sat at the Panera Bread and did this blog. But yeah, so every Tuesday we would meet and talk. She would like update us on, we would update her on how things were going, and then she would make sure that we were staying on track with like, okay, at this point, this is what you should be doing in class. You should have taken over this much. Like, here's where, here's the date where you'll have to take over completely. We turned our lesson plans into her, and then she did come and observe us maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the semester. Her name is Andrea. Okay. So meeting with the other student teachers at my school reminded me of how thankful I am for my cooperating teacher. She is so wonderful and she really likes working with the children. Not crazy. I mean, sometimes it does seem like people don't really like children. I mean, like I complain a lot, but if I didn't like kids, I would just like call it a day, I think. Like that's you have to like them to like not be miserable. She takes the things she has to do, Saxon math, for example, and tweaks them to make them fun for the children. She has made me feel so comfortable, and I love my classroom. I think that everyone should get to be with a teacher like her. I've been very lucky over the past few years to be paired up with wonderful teachers at my field sites. Miss Franklin at Mark Twain, that was pre-K. That's where I was like, okay, I'm not going to teach pre-K, but that was sweet. That was one day a week for a semester. So it was a Wednesday. So every Wednesday I guess it was like a year, spring 2012. Every Wednesday I was in a pre-K class all day. Miss Franklin. I'm sure she's retired by now. Mrs. Johnson at Highland Park. That was second grade, and that was 2 days a week. That was the fall prior to this one. So we did 1 full day a week, then 2 full days a week, and then 5 full days a week. Now, Miss Erin at Harmony. I have never left a semester thinking, what a waste of my time, or I will never be like her. I had good field experiences. It's kind of nice that even though I'm not sure I'll ever teach kindergarten myself, I have the chance to see a truly great teacher in action. Who knows? Maybe Erin will inspire me to be a teacher after all. Okay. So that was day 7. Many, many days to go. We'll see if I get to go to school tomorrow. Probably not, because the temperature is not going to go above freezing. So everything that's melted in the sun is just going to refreeze overnight. So I'll probably be blogging from this chair tomorrow. We'll see. Hi. It is Thursday, January 23rd, and we did not have school again today, as I suspected. But the roads were not that bad, so I actually did come to school. And my daughter is in my classroom hanging out. So I'm in the staff lounge doing this real quick. So let's go ahead and see what was going on with me today, January 23rd. Okay. Oh, it's a long one. Okay, let's see here. Oh, and the coffee machine's in here. And that means somebody's probably going to show up and try and get their copy in a second. All right. Day 8, January 23rd, 2013. Today has been eye-opening for me. First of all, I was extremely frustrated today with the teaching calendar. I've been frustrated with calendars today too. I tried about 6 different ways to make it all work out perfectly before I finally became resigned to the conclusion that it is just not going to be perfect. At some point, it is going to get weird, so it just depends on whether we want the weirdness to be at the beginning or the end. I'm going to guess end, so it's not messing me up when I'm just getting used to things. I don't really know what I mean about teaching calendar, but trying to plan out calendars never quite works out. Something will always show up and ruin it, like snow. Today, my teacher did dibbles testing. I'd still do that. She seemed kind of annoyed with it because she had to leave the classroom pretty much all morning. I led calendar time, handwriting, and helped with math, pulling kids to test them. However, I thought it looked like fun. I went and watched her do one of them, and I think I actually said, "That was so cool." She just laughed and said she guesses that's why I want to do what I want to do. I already told her about my interest in assessment, so she knows I'm not really in this to be a teacher forever and ever. You thought. You thought. I was talking to some of my friends here the other day on one of the work days, our third in a row. I guess it was the first one. We were all here. And I said, I feel like I'm pretty much in this for life now. I'm just gonna see it through. Like, what else am I gonna go do? But dibbles, yeah, I still do that with fifth graders. You don't have to do all of the subtests, so don't do like all of the nonsense words and all that stuff. I'm just doing like reading fluency, but I don't mind it. I still don't mind doing dibbles. It's kind of like you get into a groove and you just it's nice to like meet with each kid and see how they do it. So I like that she's the one that did it, because sometimes it can be easy to say, oh, well, let's just have someone else like pull the kids and do it. And there's like pros and cons, because if someone else pulls your kids, that means you don't miss like time with the whole class. But I still think there's something for like the teacher doing it with each kid, because then you get to hear them read, and you can like notice things that you might not have noticed otherwise. Someone just came to the copier. I knew it. Okay, let's see. Also, is there a job where you can just do stuff like dibbles all the time? What a dork. Just go around and pull the kids out of class and do it so the teachers can stay in and teach. Oh my God. I was just saying, I'm sure they would appreciate it and I would love it. I was just saying how actually I wouldn't. I think it's a bad idea. I've learned so much. Giving the test, scoring the test, I could do it for a whole school district just all day, every day. Does this career exist? Please let it exist. I think I'm describing, not entirely, but I'm describing some elements of a school psychologist. If I, like school psychs get like do all the like testing and stuff. But that is not the path I chose for myself. Although I could have seen myself enjoying that. Yes, Megan, it does exist. You didn't do it. Thoughts for the day. Oh, I like the bullet points. I still need to learn the order of calendar time a little bit. I know most of it, but I'm still a little unsure about some things. Tomorrow I should have it all. Yeah, it was like, oh, we did like how many days of school? Like there was like a whole little routine calendar time. I don't do in fifth grade, but yeah, there were like different steps. And it was like, I think we talked about like how many syllables there were in the day of the week and like all this stuff. How do you tell children when they are wrong? When a child is doing a problem in front of the class and she or he messes up, how do you explain the right answer without embarrassing the child? It's tricky, it's touchy. Some kids, you have to be a little more sensitive, but I've tried to like adopt a real chill nature about it. Like, it's fine, just like look at it again. Oh, try again, like whatever. Don't want to embarrass them. I think it's naturally like some kids get more embarrassed by getting something wrong in front of everybody. Like I definitely would, but I try and be very like, oh, look at that one again. Like, don't worry, it's fine. When a child's working on something independently, do you tell them when they mess something up? If you notice they have a number written backwards, do you make them fix it? When I was in kindergarten, I wrote some numbers backwards, and my teacher told my parents it was no big deal and I would figure it out eventually. But my cooperating teacher now has them fix it. Who is right? Well, I mean, that was the 90s, so things have changed. But I guess it depends. Like if the mistake is going to um, completely like mess up everything that's coming after it, I definitely have them fix it. If they like spell something wrong or write something, handwriting's not as huge of a thing in fifth grade, but as far as like writing numbers and stuff backwards, they definitely don't have good handwriting. But um, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like something, no one's not right. I don't know, it just like depends. And I think that's probably what I've learned over the last 12 years. It's like there's no like one way to do it. It like literally just depends on the kid and like what it is and all that stuff. How do I know what the children know? I've been picking up on little things, but it's hard to plan activities not really knowing what their background knowledge is. True. I still need to build my confidence, clearly. I'm like overthinking. Oh, I wish I was in my classroom right now because I have this little like wooden sign that says, hold on, let me overthink this. And I have it up on my desk because classic, classic. Overthinking, overanalyzing. Like, obviously, I wasn't feeling confident because I was like, how do you tell them you're wrong? How do you know what they know? Like, blah, blah, blah. I've built relationships with most of the children, but sometimes when I'm addressing all of them, I get nervous and I think they might know it. This is not a problem anymore. I'm like so chill. I I do my lesson plans and stuff, but I've noticed like if I'm just like, I'll just like get in front of the class and just start like talking. Like, what am I saying? I'm like, it also, it's just like in there. Like, I don't, you can hardly like plan for it. You just like, I know what I'm teaching and I just like start talking and I can just like talk and talk and talk. Not for, but sometimes I'll talk for several minutes. Like, what? Where did all those words come from? They just came out of my mouth. They sounded good. Couldn't have planned it if I wanted to. So no, I'm not nervous in front of kids anymore. I'm working on building my authority and commanding the room. Yes, it is a work in progress. Each day is getting better. My semester is getting interesting. The class is getting influenza. Classic. Um, yeah, I remember every day that I student taught, I drank orange juice every morning because I was like vitamin C. So I bought these like little things of orange juice and I would chug. I don't like orange juice. I do not like it. I find it yucky. I did not want to be drinking it. So I would like force myself to like chug this thing of orange juice. I was like, don't get sick. I didn't. I never had because if you were student teaching, this happened to some of my peers. You missed a day when you were sick, you had to make up that day. Like they were like, you have to do it, whatever, it's 70 days or whatever. So, but those 70 days were all built in. So essentially, if you missed a day, you would have had to go back after, I don't know, it was after graduation, but after everybody else was like supposed to have their last day. I think our last day, maybe then there was one more week and then we graduated that next Saturday or something. So it was like, okay, if you miss a day, like you have to go back the week before graduation and like finish your day so they won't like sign off on your stuff because there was no other way to make up a day other than just like tacking on at the end. So I was like, don't get sick, don't miss any days. And I did not. I did not miss any days. But I don't know that that had anything to do with the orange juice. I think that just made me feel better. All right. Hoping we have school tomorrow. Hoping that we can get back in the swing of things because me and my teammates this morning like sat down and tried to like redo all of our calendars and stuff. And we did it under the assumption that we have at least part of a day of school tomorrow. Like maybe if it's like a late start or whatever. But if school's completely canceled tomorrow, then that means everything's all messed up again. So hoping like we can at least come tomorrow and get some stuff done before it's the weekend. Like what? This week is such a joke. Bye. Today's Friday, January 24th, 2025. I can't even say if it was like a good day or a bad day. It was just such a weird day because we're finally back in school, but we had a 2 hour delay, which amounts to you end up being in school for like 4 hours, and 1.5 hours of that is like lunch, specials, recess. So it's like I'm, I did stuff today, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just a weird day. So it was fine. It was fine. I mean, hopefully we're done with this like weather stuff, back into the swing of things because I cannot. I'm just like trying to think back when I was student teaching if there were any weather days like this because they definitely would have made us make them up. And I don't remember. I guess we'll find out. I don't remember if we had any snow days that year. I don't think it was like a whole week like we just had because I think I would remember that, but there may have been a day. I don't know. All right, let's see. January 24th. January 24th, day 9. Okay, sure. All right. Today went really well considering. Oh no. There was a lot of sadness at the school this morning as we received one piece of bad news after another. It all happened before the students got to school, but it put everyone in a poor mood at the beginning of the day. What was it? I don't remember. I don't remember bad news, huh? I hmm, I don't know. I don't know. I have no memory of what that was. But it got better. Good. Erin said I did a good job in calendar time today, even though I was still very nervous and thought I would mess up. I confided my fears to her, and she told me that even she gets that way sometimes. We just can't help it. That's true. I still get nervous right at the beginning of the school year. Or if I'm like doing something for the first time, but definitely the first day of school. I'm petrified every first day of school, even though I've been doing it for so long. I'm sure that'll probably never go away. It's just, you know, I think it's normal. I'm still on the fence about what I want to do with my life. I want to do research. I want to get my PhD. I want to teach. I don't know. I don't know. Now I know. Today, I also went and saw my former thesis advisor for what might be the last time. Oh my gosh, it was the last time because she passed away like maybe 5 months later, 6 months later. I don't know. Yeah, oh my God, Mona. She gave me tons and tons of books and a puppet and felt board pieces. I came back with 4 bags full of children's books and some of the books for teachers about curriculum, guidance, socializing children, etc. Oh my God, yeah, she was retiring. And she was just like, like passing along all of her years of like collected books and stuff. So she had reached out to a couple of us who had been really close to her. Like she was my honors thesis advisor and invited us to her office and just took stuff. I still have so many of these books. The puppet, the felt board, I have them in my own house now for my own children. Um, yeah, and then I graduated, a few months after this. Maybe this wasn't the last time I saw her, but I no longer had class with her at this point. And then yeah, she ended up passing away about halfway through my first year of teaching. So unfortunately, she didn't get to enjoy too much of her retirement, but she was the best. What started out as a terrible day turned out to be great. I have my calendar all settled. Oh my God. Things are in my planner, and I am becoming more and more confident. This weekend, I'm going to regroup, and next week is going to be great. Yes, love the enthusiasm. My supervisor comes on Wednesday morning. This is the person I was talking about that we met with every Tuesday, and she was like my field supervisor. So I had my first observation. I've got to be at the top of my game. The only thing I can't figure out yet is how I am supposed to get enough sleep. That's funny. I'm so tired in the mid-afternoon, i.e., when I have to go to work. But then when I come home, I can't crash until like 11 o'clock. Boo. I even did all my night class homework 4 months in advance so I could try to sleep more. If that's not me, are you serious? What class was I talking about? Oh, that's right, that's right. I was taking a master's. I was taking a master's, like I was taking a class for my master's because I was doing the program where you got your master's just in a year. I did all my night class homework 4 months in advance. I'm sure I do remember this. It was like reading and like response to articles and stuff. And yeah, I did that. But this is I once did that in sixth grade. No. In eighth grade. We had like spelling lists like every week you were supposed to like write. This was like 2002. I don't know if this is still best practice, but we had to like write out every spelling word like multiple times and like copy a sentence. I don't know. And one weekend I just put on a movie. I swear, I think it was Shrek 2. That's like burned in my brain. I think my sister and I watched Shrek 2, and I just sat there and I did all of my spelling stuff in advance for like the rest of the year. So then every week I just had my little pile and I just turned it in. So not much has changed. I still like to get everything done well in advance, lesson plans and stuff, like just have it all planned out and ready to go, rather than like doing it as it comes up. So that's funny. But thinking about getting enough sleep, the same thing happens to me. Like sometimes I'm so tired, like I go home and I'm like, if I lay down right now, like 5 o'clock, I could probably fall asleep. But then I like power through because I'm like, you can't fall asleep. You have to like feed your kids and like, do all the like do your laundry and you can't like go to sleep at 5 o'clock. And then so I power through and then when it's actually time for bed, I'm like, well, I'm not tired now. I don't know, like stay up and like read a book, watch TV. If I can figure out how to reset my internal clock, we'd be money. Yeah. Yeah. Still haven't figured it out. Still haven't figured it out. But that's okay. We're surviving. It's fine. Um, yeah, this school, I'm trying to remember because the school I'm at right now, we start at 7:15, so I have to be here at 7 every day. That school, I really don't remember. I don't think we had to be there quite so early. I want to say we had to be there maybe 8. But it was a half-hour drive and we were carpooling and all that stuff. So I did stuff to get up pretty early, but um, if I could give myself some advice, I would say lean into the organization of it all and lean into the maybe I do want to be a teacher because it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. And planning on the weekends, some people will tell you, like, don't work on the weekends, like don't work outside contract hours. I do. I do a lot of work on the weekends and I like it because I'm working on like my own schedule. Sometimes I'd rather just like sit down and work for several hours on a Saturday so that I don't have to do it, so that I feel good and ready and I don't have to be like scrambling during my planning period on whatever day. My planning periods are pretty chill. If I don't have a meeting, I can just like kind of take a breather, get some little things done, but I'm not feeling like I'm running around crazy because I did all the work already. That's just what works for me. Everybody figures out what works for them. Maybe that's the advice. Figure out what works for you. But if I'm talking to myself, this is what's going to work for you, trust me. All right. Well, today's Friday, so I'll have to do Fridays on Monday. Bye. Um, Today was very interesting. I would have said it was a good day all day. I felt very good. I'm just so thankful we're like back in the groove. All those snow days, we've got like a full 5 day week. We're rocking and rolling. Like new quarter started. Like we got stuff to do. I started all my new novels. Like here we go. Welcome to the second half of fifth grade. But then at the end of the day, I was presented with roses and balloons because I won District Teacher of the Month, which I didn't really even know was a thing. I assume my principal like recommended me for it, but all of a sudden, right at the end of the day, five people came into my room. They had flowers, they had balloons. I'm supposed to go to the board meeting tomorrow to be recognized. It's like, oh my goodness. So it was very kind. My principal said a lot of kind things about me, and the kids cheered, and it was really sweet. Colleagues have been saying congratulations. So I was like, dang, it's a good day. Let's see if I was having a good day 12 years ago. I forgot to pull it up ahead of time. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I forgot to say today is Monday, January 27th, but 12 years ago, we are on Friday, January 25th. All right. Today was another fun Friday. I feel like we don't do anything. And Aaron did tell me that Fridays are pretty relaxed. We do library, computer lab, and PE in the morning. So that takes up most of our morning besides calendar time, which went well for me again. In the afternoon, we did our fun Friday centers and made handprint penguins, which were adorable. That's right. Fun Friday. We did it really was like we didn't teach them anything on Friday. I mean, we did like fun centers. So they were on Fridays, we would set up, I don't know, maybe five centers and they would rotate around them. One was just like dramatic play, blocks. I don't know, there were different centers, but one of them was always like a craft something and it was teacher led. So they would sort of be on their own for the other centers and then um, we would lead them through some kind of craft. So I guess this one was hamper penguins. Today was also a little different because it was Fitness Friday. Oh, yeah. We all went to the gym and danced for about 45 minutes. Yes, this school was part of some kind of grant where one Friday a month they did they had like an assembly and it was like somehow related to fitness or something. Wait, let me keep reading. I went with Aaron to the Fitness Friday planning committee meeting, last Monday during the PD training. So I kind of knew what to expect. It was really fun. They do it every month, and each month focuses on a different kind of safety. This time it was bike safety, but water safety and I think gun safety are coming up over the next few months. I have no memory if this is true, like if we really did this. I only have memory of one other Fitness Friday, and it's further towards the end. But yeah, that was like a whole big school thing that they did. I am feeling more and more confident every day. The days are going by a lot faster than I thought they would. I am 2 weeks in and only 12 to go. Every day, I'm more and more thankful for being placed in the classroom that I was. It is making my experience so much more fun and meaningful for me. It is something I am enjoying rather than something I am just tolerating or counting down the days of, which I suppose I technically am, but not as begrudgingly. Posted at 10:24 p.m. Ooh, look at me staying up late on a Friday. I yeah, sounds like I had a pretty good day 12 years ago. I had a pretty good day today. I if I could give myself some advice from 12 years ago, um sometimes you have to teach on Friday. This is abnormal. I do make a concession on Fridays. I call it Friday free time. And I have done this for a long time. I think my mentor, like once I started teaching in a classroom and was assigned like a mentor, I think she did it, and that's probably where I picked it up. But every Friday, I do 15 minutes of free time, which is not very many in the grand scheme of things. But it's very motivating. I do 15 minutes of free time, but the way you earn Friday free time is by like getting your classwork done throughout the week. So I make concessions if kids are pulled out or they miss something because they were absent. That doesn't count. But it's like if if these three things, and I tell them I don't spring it on them. I tell them ahead of time, like on Monday, these are the things that need to get done by Friday to earn Friday free time. So they can like check, check, check. And if they get them done, then they have 15 minutes free time on Friday. And if not, that's 15 minutes of like small, like FaceTime with me to try and help them get it done. So that's my version of Friend Friday, I guess. And you might think, oh, 15 minutes, like, do the kids really care? Most of them do. They're like, it's very motivating. And for the one, there are some kids who don't care, and that's fine. We just like work on it, work on whatever work they didn't get done during that 15 minutes. It's usually just me and like one or two kids. We can really be like, okay, come on, focus. Sorry, I just noticed my flowers say freedom. I don't know. Don't know what that is. All right. Good day. Hopefully this like energy carries us through the week. We can stay focused, motivated. We have a math quiz on Wednesday that I'm really nervous about because the snow really messed up the groove of decimal unit, but I'm gonna have faith. It's gonna be good.